Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Persona 3 FES. Now, in the last episode, we ventured our way into Tartarus for the first time. Haven't actually gone up the steps yet, these steps right here, so we haven't actually gone into Tartarus per se, even though we technically are in Tartarus, but yeah. So, there's actually a few things that I've been wanting to make much more clearer because I wasn't very clear with what I was wanting to do with this series in the first few episodes. And that is what I want to do with this run. Now, I do want to make this a max social link run. Now, we have gone over social links, I believe if I bring up my handy dandy system. Yes, right here. We only have the one social link for now, which is C's, which is a story-focused social link, so we don't actually have to worry about that. But I am going to attempt to max out every social link in the game. I really want to attempt that, and I have done it before in the past, because that's the other thing I want to bring up, and if just in case it was confusing to anyone, I have indeed played this game before. I played it numerous times, but I haven't played it to completion in a good long while, so I think now's the perfect time to do it again, because there's some stuff that I don't remember in this game, and that's exciting to me. I like it when I don't remember stuff, because I get to experience it all over again. And I might sound a bit more enthusiastic this episode than the last few episodes, because last episodes I had a little bit of a throat problem. It was just like a cold that didn't really turn into a cold. But anyway, enough procrastinating. Let's actually go into the Tartarus of where... and actually go into the place to learn about the area. That was a good sentence, I swear. Yes, Mitsuru, I am ready. Let's go. Tartarus block number 1.
So, this is it, huh?
Yep, pretty much. So, where are them shadows at? I want to fight some shadows. My sword hand is crying to me. It's wanting blood. Blood!
I hope I don't get lost.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Whoa, is that you, Senpai?
I'll be providing audio backup from here on out.
Wait, you mean you can see inside here?
That's pretty cool.
It's my Persona's ability.
That's doubly cool.
I'd like to join you, but the structure of Tartarus changes from day to day. That's why outside support is imperative.
Well, that makes me feel a whole lot better.
Now, based on your current location, you can expect to encounter enemies at any minute. They shouldn't be too tough, but proceed with caution.
Don't worry, Caution's my middle name. Except when I'm in the Bloodlust. Maybe then Caution won't be in my middle name. Mainly blood. And lust.
Practice makes perfect.
Right.
Got it.
Don't worry, I'm sure we'll be able to adapt.
She always liked that.
Oh, come on, Yukari, it's not all bad. She just wants to give us support from the outside. So let's begin. So if these are real battles, we will actually die if we die. So, as she said, and it won't be, I don't think it's true for the first floor, for the first, time ever on this first floor. I believe the first floor layout is always the same, or at least in the tutorial run, which is the run we're doing. So yes, this is a procedurally generated dungeon. So, basically, this is actually the other half of the game. On top of the social linking and all of the social aspects of this game, you also do a lot of dungeon crawling. And that's where the RPG aspects come into play. So, when we're on the field, we'll be able to see monsters. We can hit the X button to hit an enemy before it hits you, and then have the battle start with an advantage. I believe for the tutorial fight, it won't actually do it. It won't give you the advantage, it'll just be a normal battle.
Takeba has informed me about your power, but nevertheless, you have minimal combat experience. Would you like me to explain the basics of battle?
You know what? Just for the sake of just laying the viewers at home, no? Yes, please.
The primary offensive options available to you in battle are attack and skill. Attack corresponds to the weapon you've equipped, while skill relates to your persona's abilities. Those skills consume either stamina or spiritual power. they tend to have a greater effect. Use whichever option best suits the situation. Keep attacking until you've defeated the enemy, but pay careful attention to your stamina. That's it for now. Did you get all that?
Loud and clear.
Okay, then I want you to defeat the enemy before you. Try using both the skill and attack options.
So there we go, those are the very basics of battle. There are actually a few other things that we'll be able to, I might be able to give a sneak preview if I remember this enemy's weakness correctly, but if we use Addy, I believe, yep, it's weak to it. So basically, when you hit the enemy's weak point, they will go into a down state, as you did see. And if you are able to get every single enemy into a down state, you can do something called an all-out attack, which is the thing that's happening right here. So basically, if I choose to do an all-out attack, we get a cool little cinematic shot, and we beat the crap out of them.
A complete victory. Great job.
Why, thank you. And that's pretty much the basics of battle. So Dewey got 5 experience at the Snuff Store, and I can't believe I've gone this far without mentioning it now, but I love the style of this game. I love the visual representations, I love the actual like theming and the style, and the soundtrack. Oh, if anyone knows Persona, they know that the soundtrack is king. But anyway, there should be a staircase to the right. I do see the staircase, but as she said, that's not going to be important for now. We will get to that later. So yes, you can actually first strike the enemies, but the enemies can also first strike you. If you're able to strike the enemy beforehand, you are spotted, then you will gain the initiative. On the other hand, if the enemy hits you first, the opposite will occur. So yes, they can actually get first strikes on you, and in Persona games, and even more so in Shin Megami Tensei games, for people who know, that is one of the most deadly things that can happen to you. Your entire team can get wiped out. It's actually what gives the Shin Megami Tensei series games its difficulty, like, infamy. So, it's actually very important to know what weapon attack distances you have, so I'm just going to go up to this shadow and just stab it in the back.
Now's a good time for me to explain about attack properties, which are important to consider during battle.
Excuse me, Mitsuru, I'm busy explaining other things right now. You can do it in a second. So basically, the thing I was trying to say before is that, you can actually equip different weapons, like, Junpei over there has a katana, which is a two-handed sword, and Yukari has her bow. For the main character, at least, you can have different weapons, and they all have different attack ranges on the field, and of course different advantages in battle, but they also have different speeds of which you swing. So that's something to keep in mind. It may be a lot to take in right now, but I'm sure it will become clear later on as we keep on going through the dungeon and the game itself. But anyway, yes, Mitsuru, let's continue with your explanation.
Do you want to know more?
Yes.
Nearly every type of attack is associated with a particular property. For example, swords can be used to do slash attacks, while bows are used to do pierce attacks. Skills, on the other hand, have different properties. Bufu, for instance, indicates an ice attack. Now, most enemies are vulnerable to certain types of attacks. In other words, they have weaknesses. A fire skill will deal greater damage to an enemy that's weak against fire. With my power, I can analyze an enemy to determine its weaknesses and strengths. That falls under tactics.
The first time an enemy is analysed, you may have to wait a while for the results, but from then on, whenever you analyse a particular enemy, you'll receive the results right away. While you are selecting your target, if a question mark appears above the enemy, then the particular enemy has not been previously analysed. You can select Analyze from the Tactics menu and press the L1 button to issue the request.
Do you follow?
Loud and clear.
The enemies you're facing have a weakness that you can exploit. Why don't you give it a try?
In fact, I've already exploited the weakness, so I will actually analyze them anyway, just to see if I could get it on the record. But basically, one thing you could also do, which I might as well go over, is if you hold the R1 button, it will actually show the turn order of what enemies and your allies will go in. So I will go next, and then there will be Junpei and Yukari and etc. So that's actually very helpful if, like, you need to do specific order of things. But anyway, we already know that these guys are weak to fire, so I'm just going to do it right now.
Attack again! Nice!
And the other thing you may notice is that if you get a weak, or if you attack the enemy's weak point, or if you get a critical, you can actually attack twice in a row. So you might think it's effective to go for the same enemy twice, but, as previously mentioned, if I'm able to get both of them down, then we're able to do the all-out attack. So that's the core fundamentals, pretty much, for all of the gameplay in Persona, and I find it really engaging, like trying to figure out the orders of things. So this is a quite fun RPG, and it's quite action-based as well, so that makes it all the more fun. Of course, there's other things to get into, but for now, let's just beat the crap out of these shadows! Yeah! I love all the comic book words that come up as you attack them as well.
Victory. Great job.
Utterly annihilated them, and hey, we got a revival bead. Always helpful. Let's see, we got a treasure chest right over here, and we got another shadow right around this corner. Mitsuru, you took the words right out of my mouth, again. So yes, of course we got the map in the bottom left hand corner, red dots that represent enemies, as should be expected, and oh, that was a close one. Sometimes it takes me a while in order to get used to the enemy's ranges and my weapon ranges. And yes, I was Mitsuru, so it might take a few times for me to get it right.
If you didn't already notice, doing so will also grant you an additional attack.
I did notice that, in fact, I explained it.
Would you like more details?
I don't... You know what? Just for the sake of completion, yes.
An enemy will lose its balance if you exploit its weakness or land a critical hit. This will give you the opportunity to perform an additional action. In other words, you'll get to do one more thing. You can keep attacking the same enemy, or if you prefer, attack a different target. And if you succeed in knocking another enemy off balance, then you can act yet again. Which means you can remain on the offensive for as long as you can keep this up. This strategy is essential to securing victory. However, remember this. An enemy that's already lost its balance cannot be knocked off balance again. You can't knock down someone who's lying on the ground, right? It's the same idea. Now, to knock an enemy off balance, you need to know its weaknesses. So don't hesitate to ask me for an analysis. I'll be sure to share the results with the others as well. Got it?
Loud and clear once again.
Then proceed with the battle. Use what you've learned to quickly dispose of the enemy.
It's actually just as well that I was able to do that tutorial, because I forgot to mention one thing that she actually mentioned, and that's the fact that once you knock them down, you can't knock them down again. So, of course, you want to make effective use of all of your SP and your stamina and all of your turns, so you're able to get the most effective outcome.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at 'em.
Pretty much like that.
Keep up the good work.
And I believe we get, yes, we get one more material right here. Material? Tutorial? God, that's not even vaguely the same word. So, he told us to take the seeds of opportunity before us, and these certainly look like opportunities. Not so much seeds, but after battle you will occasionally have the opportunity to select a card from the one shuffled before you rise. If you pick a card with a persona on it, then you will receive that persona. There are other cards, each of which have a unique effect or reward. Keep an eye on the card you want and try to pick it. So, these are the cards before us. Just very quickly before we get this started, the persona is to the far left there. The one with the red sword in it is actually a new weapon, and the numbers indicate the level of said weapon. The green wand will increase your experience, and the yellow coin will increase your money that you gain from the enemies that you defeat. And as I said before, the higher the number, the more you... God, what am I trying to say? The higher the level, the more you will get of said item. Unless it's a weapon, then it's a higher level. I'm pretty sure that makes sense. Let's just do the card. So we want the persona right now because we're pretty low, so... Pick the right one, and we got Pixie. We have welcomed Pixie into your heart. And we also got a level up out of that. Level 3. Nice.
Yes! My skill level has has
It
increased.
looks like I wasn't the only one to level up, which is also very nice. I believe when you level up, it does the thing in RPGs where it increases your HP, but it doesn't increase like the same amount of HP to the HP you already have. I'm pretty sure that makes sense, but it's a little bit of a shame, but that's just the way it goes. So apparently there's a shadow up ahead. Well, just like all the other shadows. So yeah. Okay, this is something that I've actually been needing to explain, so thank you for reminding me, Mitsuru. So, if you or another party member has Persona with healing skills, be sure to take advantage of it. So basically what they were saying is, I could personally myself, if I go to skills, because I believe Pixie starts with it, yep, right here. We have Dire, which is actually a healing skill, and it will... And if I select it, I can obviously choose to heal my parties. But if I wanted to, I could go to Yukari over here and ask her to heal me because she has Dire, which I'm going to show off right now. So she will heal us up to full, and it will obviously use her SP instead of mine. Now, one other thing I want to show in battle, and oh god, I think the enemy got an advantage on me, but since it's the tutorial, we're fine.
There is a better way to defeat all of your enemies in battle than to attack them individually. You can perform an all-out attack. Would you care to hear more about this?
You know what, Mitsuru? This time I'm thinking we're going to say no thanks because I've pretty much explained it.
That concludes the basics of battle. But there's one last thing I need to tell you.
Ooh, go on.
Shadows become stronger the further you advance. If you don't think you can win a battle, retreat at once. There may be times, however, when an escape will be impossible. This battle is one of those times. Good luck.
I'll keep that in mind, Mitsuru, but it shouldn't be a problem. Now, a few other things I should go over because they are not explained at this point in the game, but I would like to explain them anyway. We have two other commands right here. One of them I just opened up, which is Persona and Tactics. Now, if we go over to Persona, we are actually able to switch out Personas, and that will give us different skill sets as well as different weaknesses and strengths. As you can see here, Pixie is strong to lightning, whereas Orpheus is weak to lightning and Mudo, which is a dark spell, which is, we've not really seen spells like that for quite a while, so that's a little bit of a sneak preview there, but there's no need to switch because these guys are weak to fire. And the other thing that we have is Tactics. So you can't directly control your party members, but you can tell them what to do. So we have a few things such as heal and support, assign target, and stand by for now, but we will get more as the game goes on. And of course for Mitsuru we have Analyze and Call Assistance, which we won't need. Which we don't need right now. So, enough explaining, it's time to kill stuff.
A wisely chosen attack.
God, the animations in this game are pretty cool. For such like an RPG, which obviously reuses some assets every now and then because like RPGs do that, this game has a really nice style to it, which I mentioned before, not just visually, but just also in the way that it moves and just like the battles and how, like, just look at the command video menu. Look how stylish this thing is. And that's pretty much been a staple of the Persona series for so long. So yeah, we're just fighting the same shadow over and over again right now, but of course they will become more varied as we make our way up the tower. So, it's something to keep in mind. So we already got a Pixie card, so I will go for the money. 620 yen. Very, very nice.
Yes! My skill level has increased.
Ta-da-da-da!
Will do, Mitsuru. Press the square button to issue orders to your allies. I actually slightly forgot. Oh god, I was only just moving slightly a bit forward, Mitsuru. No need to snap at me. And it actually sent me back. Okay, basically, one thing that it was actually talking about is that you're able to split up and look for clues, Shaggy. Oh man, sorry. I just said how I hated Krutski laughing at his own jokes, and I just did it. I'm a massive hypocrite. But basically, yes, you could actually split up your party members in order to search the dungeons. Or just the particular floor, not the entire dungeon. That would be crazy. So basically, yeah. This is a thing I don't like to do very often because it makes...
Spread out and proceed individually.
It makes it, what am I trying to say? It makes it...
Loot! Check out my fat loot!
Junpei, you interrupted me. But yeah, basically, it makes it harder to keep track of people, and when you go into battles, they're not there, and it's just a little bit of a pain. But basically, that's how it goes.
Everyone, return to the leader.
But one thing that it does keep in useful, which I'm able to show right here because Junpei found the treasure, is that if there are no shadows and he comes back to us, or at least Junpei, I guess nothing. I could have sworn you found something. I guess not. But anyway, as I was trying to say, when they come back to you, they will give you back whatever they have found in treasure chests and as such. So that is very nice to keep in mind. But hey, we got an access point right here. We've done enough training for now, so let's go back to the first floor. Or ground floor, even. Ah, here we go. That was Junpei giving me the treasure that he found. Oh god, getting molecularly transported feels weird on the body.
Welcome back.
Hey,
So, how was it?
it was great. Did we do good? Did we? It was, you know, it was no problem, you know? I got
I
this.
see. Well, if you gained confidence, that's the best thing you could have achieved.
Wow, I never knew I had that kind of power.
What do you mean that kind of power, Junpei? You didn't do anything. I did most of the work. I added all of those shadows.
We kicked some ass. But damn, I'm beat.
That's because you were bouncing around like a little kid.
Yeah, you look pretty tired yourself, Yucatan.
I'm still trying to catch my breath, actually.
Well, I'm a little bit tired too, but I still got plenty of energy. Or at least I think I do.
That's the effect of the dark hour. You'll become fatigued more easily. Don't worry though, you'll adapt. But I'm surprised. You all did much better than I expected. At this rate, they'll catch up to you in no time, Akihiko.
Oh, so I can make him my eternal rival, can I? Sick.
We'll see about that.
Oh, is that a challenge, good sir? Well then, choose your weapon and draw. Actually, you're injured. That doesn't sound very fair. Hey. Looks like we've gone to the second level of the C social link of the Fool Arcana. Well, guess I'll get a good night's sleep and get ready for the next day. So, I'm pretty sure, yes, yeah, okay, they're tired, so yes, I was correct. So, let me just save quickly. Okay, yes, so there's pretty much not much more we could do today. There is one other thing that I would like to mention when it comes to the leveling up process, because it's quite important to keep notes. So, when you yourself, the character, level up, as you can see, your HP and SP will obviously increase, but that's pretty much it. The other stats, like your strength, your magic, and everything else, is actually tied to your persona. So if we take Orpheus as an example, as you can see, we got strength, magic, endurance, agility, and luck. So, one thing to keep in mind is that personas actually level up way slower than your character. And all of your party members to that. This mainly applies to the main character because of his multiple personas. With the other characters, their persona levels are tied to the actual character levels as well, so they don't have to worry as much. But this is when the social links become important, because that is the main way in order to upgrade your persona level. But we will get to that when we get to that. That was just a little tidbit that I would like to keep in mind. But apparently, also very quickly, seems like we're still good, so we don't have to worry about being tired. Because as you can see underneath the SP bar there, we have a little smiley face. That's actually one of the statuses that we can get. We can become tired by being in Tartarus for too long. And it can affect you in your day-to-day social life as well as your fighting ability. So, it's very important to try and keep a good status. Or even great status, since that is also available. But hey, I guess it's time to rest up and get ready for the next day. So every time you leave Tartarus, it will go immediately to the next day, so you need to be absolutely sure that you want to come here, otherwise, and use your time efficiently, otherwise it won't be worth it. So let's go.